All right. Good evening. I got something on the screen there. All right. It was bothering me. What can I tell you? I hope everybody is doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. It was funny this morning when I was doing that video. Uh, it started to rain. It rained for a couple hours, pretty hard for a couple hours. And then all of a sudden, clouds went away. Sky cleared up. Beautiful sunny rest of the day. It was very, very strange. Very strange. So, anyway, before we jump into anything on here, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you to please be decent in the chat and no racism, no nastiness. I'm just here. I'm here. Just sent you the cow shoes. Oh, yeah. I like that. That was actually pretty cool. I like that. That was actually really neat. So, anyway, let's just be decent with each other. And if we can't be, then them awesome people lit up in blue, they will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. All right. So just putting that out there ahead of time. So, uh, good day though. It was a nice day actually. I didn't mind it at all. Someday, oh, so I have to address this right away. I got to address this because I just saw this comment, and I laughed. I laughed at it, and I said, "Whatever you say." And the person, and I don't know where this came from, just random comment, and they were like, "Well, it looks like you need to sell all that land and pack up and go back to New York." Why would it look like that? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm so sorry that I am happy to be down here in West Virginia, that I enjoy this, that I love the peace and quiet, that I don't have neighbors right up my behind. Yeah, I should probably give that all up. I should, and go back to a freaking communist state like New York. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to be really clear, okay? I'm going to be really, really clear. I have no intention of ever living in New York State again. Uh, go up to visit, yes. See my family, absolutely. But no, this is my home now. This is where I want to be. So, um, you know, don't be jealous and don't be hateful. I don't know what honestly I don't know if that's it. I don't know what people Ed, some people think they are having too much fun there and too much peace and quiet. Yeah, exactly. I know, heaven forbid, that I'm actually happy, not being in New York. Terrible, terrible. Okay, I want to get into this topic, and I have to be careful. Um, yeah, Hokel would love my dad. Yeah, they'd love the. Yeah, let me buy more property up there so I can get taxed like crazy on it. I was talking to my sister. So let's talk about that for a second. Speaking of New York. So I was talking to my sister today. And Greece, New York, just so you know, where I used to live when I was with my ex-wife, the is Monroe County is one of the highest taxed counties in the country. In the country, okay. So she was just telling me her friend has a house in Greece, and they own a vacant lot next to their house. Okay, so they're separate properties, but they own both of them. The property with the house that they have on it is the taxes are 8 grand a year. Okay, 8 grand a year. I want you to think about that. All right. The second thing, the lot that's next door, which is an empty lot. We're not talking about a huge area. That's 3 grand a year that they have to pay on that property. So they're paying 11 grand in taxes, probably on less than half an acre of land. Um, you know, I know that like the prop. Okay, I'll give you an example with the property that I had. I had a 1912 square foot house. It was a quarter acre lot. That's because it was a pretty deep lot, so we had a big deep backyard, which was nice. But my taxes on that, and this is going back 10 years. Okay, so 10 years ago, My taxes, Marla of the North, do you think people are actually jealous of West Virginia? Marla, I could give a crap less. I don't know. I don't know what they're jealous of, to be honest with you. Well, what's wrong with West Virginia? That would be a good question. So anyway, so on a quarter acre lot, I paid 10 years ago. I was paying 5 grand a year. So it's probably closer to 7 to 8 now in that area. So any land for sale near you? Yeah, there's always land for sale. Yeah, miss one payment, it becomes a property of New York. You get 2 years. By the second year, if you haven't paid your taxes the second year, they'll seize your property, they'll sell it for whatever, and take in their taxes out first. Yeah, that's what they'll do. Yep. So, but anyway, yeah, I just people are a trip, man. I'll tell you what, they are absolutely a trip. Okay, so after now that we talked about that, I want to get into the topic of this video, and I have to be careful how I word it. Okay, so we're gonna try to go around in a way that doesn't trigger things. So, and we're basically what we're going to talk about in a roundabout way. Recent events that just happened in Texas. Okay, everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. What I find interesting, okay, and we're gonna use this example. So I live in a state. Let's say, oh, let's use Texas. Let's use Texas. We'll use that as the example. And I live in this state that has the most freedoms for jelly beans. Let's go with jelly beans. Most freedoms for jelly beans in Florida or in Texas. Great freedoms with jelly beans. You can have jelly beans. You can own as many jelly beans as you want, and nobody cares. But I've come in there and I have an agenda. I have an agenda. I want to get rid of jelly beans, right? I want to get rid of them because I don't like them. So in my group of people, we want to make sure that these things get banned. So we're going to stage events that are going to happen with negative connotations for jelly beans, right? Do you find it interesting? And I find a lot of things interesting. Uh, 80K man, I have found that those that criticize us are just envious that they can't do what you do. You know what? You're probably right, 80K man, but I get a kick out of it anyway. I do. I have to laugh at it. So, Marla of the North again says nothing, but there is nothing to be jealous of. I'm not saying somebody should be jealous, Martha or Marla. Sorry, Marla of the North. I'm not saying somebody should be jealous. But why would somebody make that type of a comment? So there's a question for you. Why make a and I left a comment up there and I actually answered the comment. Okay, but why do they feel the need to put that kind of comment up there? So there's a question for you. So yep, I know the jelly bean story got cut off. So anyway, if you're trying to get rid of something, and we're going to use that as an example, like in Texas, which all of a sudden, are you noticing a lot of events? They're trying to trigger me. They can kiss my behind. How's that, Okie Forge? Oh, I like the black jelly beans. Black jelly beans are awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna report you about the jelly belly. That's funny. Um, it's amazing to me that a lot of these recent events that have been happening are happening in Texas. And of course, you have these people coming out of the woodwork, talking all kinds of crap, and oh, we need to do this. And of course, then Biden comes out and he says, if they present it for me, we'll ban these things right away. You have to understand. You have to understand. There is an agenda out there, and they are trying to. Yeah, flatland's hard to come by in West Virginia. Yeah, there's no flatland. You have to make your flatland, and that's okay. I am absolutely okay with that, Alan. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So, but yeah, most of these people out there that are negative and nasty couldn't walk a hill in West Virginia anyway, let alone get off their own couch, other than maybe to go to the refrigerator. So, you know what? So that's okay. That is absolutely all right. Again, if you're trying to get something taken away, you go to a state where it has been a thing for a long time, and these events are happening. I find it very, very interesting um, that these events continue to happen. And so, again, as soon as any of these type of events happen, that people jump up on their little agenda wagon and say, "Oh, well, we need to do this." And I actually saw um, somebody was saying, "Well, this is not a mental health issue." It absolutely is a mental health issue. You cannot convince me that somebody, okay, let's think about this. Somebody of sound mind and body is going to randomly decide out of the blue to go and do something harmful to other people for absolutely no reason, right? There's no way. There has to be something absolute. All the wires are not crossed. Things are not happening in a right way. Um, you know, it's just so. Well, here's a question. Okay, let's go with this one. The last two in Texas, right? Both of them happen to be of I don't know if South American descent. Let's just put it that way, right? They were either uh, with the last name of Garcia, right? And the latest guy was also Hispanic or of descent. So does that mean that we should ban all Hispanic people from Texas because these last two mass things were done by Hispanic people? Does that it's that ridiculous? It's that ridiculous. Okay, the guy that did the one, not the one that just happened, but the guy that did the neighbors next door, he was here illegally anyway, right? And he had been deported how many times? You know, it's amazing. Yeah, it's like banning cars due to drunk drivers. Exactly. You have to understand what is really going on and what is really at stake. And what's really at stake is they want to take away your rights because if they can take those away, they can control you easier. While you have things to be able to protect yourself, they cannot. A great example, guys, a great example will always be Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany made everybody register everything they had. If you remember correctly, they made them register everything they had, and then they came in and they took them all away. And then the only people that had them were the people that were in charge. So I saw an amazing documentary, and it was and I can't remember, and it was a politician. So I was actually beyond pleasantly surprised at the way this guy had dealt with this. He was in Congress talking or something like that. And so they're on their things talking about ban this, ban that, ban the other thing. And the guy said, "Well, wait a minute, let me ask you a question." And he was talking about the fact that most of these shootings that are done with handguns. A lot of these mass shootings are done with handguns. That the best thing that civilians can have to be able to protect themselves are a rifle, especially if they don't have a lot of skills with it and stuff like that. It's the best way to protect themselves. It is okay. Uh, so you have all these people, jumping up and down, and he was saying that. So you're telling me that while and he was talking to whatever person that was in Congress, while you have armed security and people surrounding you with guns, that I should not have them and my family should not have them to be able to protect themselves. They were like, why is that okay? So it's a great point because all these people that are out there screaming for taking away what we have to be able to protect ourselves. And we'll just use President Biden as a great example of that. Is he not surrounded constantly by armed security? Constantly, right? He's exactly always wherever he goes. Barack Obama, same thing to this day. They have armed security, not only protecting him, his wife, and his children. Any former president out there has lifelong Secret Service people protecting them. It's what happens. It's what goes on. All right, because number one, they are obviously high target profile people. So somebody that has bad intentions is gonna. I mean, look at the idiot that was trying to impress Jodie Foster, right? So I mean, that's just a good example. Whatever these people get, and wow, lo and behold, he had mental health issues. I'm shocked. So he tried to assassinate. Was he? He was Mark David Chapman. He was the one that tried to assassinate Reagan, and he was doing it because he was trying to impress Jodie Foster. So it's insanity. We have a mental health issue in this country. That's what we have. That's what we have is a mental health issue. Plain and simple. And I would be very, very curious once again. And like I said, I'm an inquisitive, curious person. Mark David Chapman was Lenin. Okay, who was the one? Who was the one that tried to assassinate Reagan? Yeah, and Mark David Chapman, yes, he did get released. Yeah, I like that. He's safe now. Hinckley, John Hinckley. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. I got my attempted assassins mixed up. But it's this is something that these people they live inside these glass houses, and you're going to tell you what you should do, and at the same time they either have they're protected by the government officials, or they hire their own armed security. One of the two. Like all these Hollywood types, you know, they always have bodyguards and armed security. Well, you know what? The average Joe American, we can't afford that. You know, I want to be able to. I forgot to duck Ronald Reagan. Yeah, exactly. So it's amazing to me how constantly this, as soon as something happens, they all jump up on their agenda and try to push their agenda, and so. And here's the other thing that I find interesting. So they want to raise up the age to be able to purchase a firearm, right? And I'm going to put this into context once again, because to me this is the insanity. This is the insanity of it. Okay, you've just graduated from high school. You're a 17-year-old young man. Okay, you go in the military. You can fight for your country. You can carry a gun. You can go and you can kill people in the name of your country, and that's perfectly fine, right? But but you are not old enough to buy cigarettes until you turn 21, right? You are not old enough to get a drink until you're 21. And in a lot of states now, what they're proposing and putting into place is you are not allowed to buy a gun and own a firearm until you're 21 years old. Now, does that make any kind of sense at all? It is perfectly okay for you to risk your life for your country, and they're going to put a gun in your hand, right? They put a gun in your hand, and that's okay. But as a private citizen, if you had, you lived off post or whatever, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to have a drink. You're not allowed to have a cigarette. I mean, it's the stupidest thing in the world. It's the stupidest thing in the world. It is amazing to me. It happens over and over and over again, and I can't believe that more people, realistically, that more people are just not up in arms with what's going on with this country. It blows me away. It, they're just like, okay, yeah, we'll just let them do whatever they want to do. Well, you can't, and no one will look at how screwed up the world is because they're so um, short of screws. Yeah, we're going to go off, blame the guns, but don't correct the craziness. Makes sense. Yeah, it's well, and that's the other thing. Like I said, they always blame the gun. It's not the gun's fault. You know. Yeah, and they keep voting for these idiots and putting them back in office. Who was the one? God, I can't remember the one. one of the politicians that we elected and put in office, and they were oh God, maybe it was Guam or something, and he thought that it might tilt and fall into the ocean or something. I can't remember what politician it was, but I do remember the context of it, and it was so moronic, his thought process, that it was scary that this person, um, you know, that this person was an elected official. No, it wasn't Al Gore. Dawn says I remember that too. Yeah, I mean it was just these some of these people are really just unbelievably stupid. They don't know what they're talking about. It was a senator, Hank Johnson. Hank Johnson from Georgia. Okay, yeah. So you guys remember what I'm talking about, but it was a Democrat. Well, really? Again? Oh my God! Come on now. Remember, they all suck. Just remember that. They all have an agenda, and the agenda is not to do anything for you. It is to help their special interest groups that got them elected, keeping them happy, and taking care of their rich friends. That's what they care about. That's what they will always care about forever and ever. Amen. That's it. So, yeah, yeah. The guy, yeah, exactly. Well, you look at some of these other ones too. I mean, just some of the stuff that they say. And, they don't even know what they're talking about, especially when it comes to weapons. They have no concept or no idea. They make misstatements constantly. They have no idea what they're talking about, but they want to ban them. They want to ban them. What are we at? 525 in the chat, guys. We got 177 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. I thank you ahead of time for that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms as well. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I appreciate that. And thank you very much ahead of time. Yeah, you shouldn't be allowed to make laws about things you don't understand. It's just, and I love their argument. Well, why do you need? Oh, hold on a second. I got crap like falling all over the place here. Hold on, I got to adjust. Hold on a second. Steve hates it when I say that. Because I'll say to him, I go, man, hold on a second. He's like, man, you and that hold on crap. He goes, you drive me crazy. I'm like, oh well, then go back down to your blue house. There we go. I got more room to work with now, so I feel better. It was like it was caving in on me, so I had to. Not that I don't have plenty of room for everything. Add AK-47s and AR-15s are not assault weapons. You can be assaulted by anything. Exactly. They're not. They're not assault weapons. They're not. And I love when people say, oh, they're weapons of war. No, weapons of war, what we use, still to this day, we're using the M16, in the military, which in my opinion is a piece of garbage. Give me that AK-47 every day of the week. Sorry. I know you guys that are all got you're all spun up on your AR-15s, but I'll take my AK-47 every day of the week. Thank you very much. So, not that I own any, of course. If I were to, if I were to, yeah, a bat can be an assault weapon. Exactly. SKS is a nice rifle as well. Yep, that is a nice rifle as well. Do we ban forks and spoons because they're making people fat? You know, the jelly bean. Oh, I was using that, but then I just said screw it. Everybody knows what I was talking about. So it is amazing to me. It is amazing to me the stupidity that we deal with on a daily basis. And as soon as something happens, you get the clowns, and that's what they are to me. They're clowns. Because if you see, here's the thing: is if you truly believed in what you said as a politician, well, then you wouldn't have armed security. You wouldn't. You don't like guns, then you wouldn't have them around you, right? Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So you should be able to have your protection, but I'm not. Again, that's at it's not the fork or spoon's fault. Yes, it is, Mac. It is absolutely the fork. The refrigerator fell on them, and all the food in the refrigerator went into their stomach. It's not their fault. But it's so ridiculous. It's just like, again, why are we not banning cars, right? You can't blame the drunk driver. No, heaven forbid, we don't want to blame the drunk driver. It's not because the guy drank too much or the woman drank too much and got behind the wheel and then went off and killed five people because they got in an accident. It's not their fault. It's the car's fault. We need to make sure. What do you think is the best carry concealed weapon pistol wise? Well, you want to make sure you have something with stopping power. That's important. Okay. And so, you want to go with something smaller. Uh, Personally, I've always kind of favored a 380 for concealment because it's small, but it still has decent stopping power. You get hit with that, you know, it's going to take care of business. But again, if you're trying to, be not putting it out there, not letting people know, it's definitely a nice pistol to have. 38 special too, but the ammo for a 38 special is like ridiculously hard to get a hold of a lot of times. You know, yeah, it's like holding the gun manufacturers liable, but not the car manufacturers. Exactly, it's so stupid. It was talking about concealed carry, Mac, not good. Oh, 12 gauge with double aught buck. That's a wonderful home defense. You know, Prep Rebel says 9 mil is the lowest I will go. 45 is a choice for me. Yeah, I like a 45 too. I'm not going to lie, but you can't really hide that well. You can't really hide that well. It's kind of a big gun. So, but yeah, well, like AOC, how many times did that woman put her foot in her mouth talking stupid, ridiculous, nonsensical stuff, and she got reelected in a landslide? That's frightening. That's frightening to me. It really, really is. And she tries to act like she's so superior and so smart. You're a bartender. Go make me a drink. You know what I mean? Come on. You obviously suck at being a politician. So, but yeah, 380 is a nice if you're looking to make sure that they can't see it. That's a nice weapon to have. Yeah, if you're new to weapons, then a shotgun with double aught buck, absolutely, because you basically point and pull the trigger, and you're really, not going to miss, especially close range. So, but yeah, it's just a crazy world right now. Crazy stuff going on. There's a lot of sick people out there, and I think that they've been put out there for a reason. To be honest with you, they're ticking time bombs, and in these people, these psychiatrists, those type of people, they know that these people are ticking time bombs. So, and as long as they don't say the wrong thing where they get a hold on them and they do a mental hygiene arrest or anything like that, what are you going to do? Ed, you guys are the ones that talk to me to my Glock. Like I said, I love my Glock. I'm not gonna lie, I like my Glock. You know, uh, that's my everyday carry. That's what I carry every day. So, I have my other stuff as well, or maybe I do, or maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't know what I have. I don't have anything actually. It's a prop. What you see on me when I walk around, that's a prop. That's not real. It's a figment of your imagination. I that actually, I got to be honest. Okay, what you think is a pistol that I carry around with me all the time, it actually identifies as a stapler. So it's not a pistol. It's a stapler. So and I want you to respect that because that is his pronouns is stapler, not gun. So just let's be respectful of what it's thinking. Uh, Yeah, doesn't exist. It's a squirt gun. No, no, it's a stapler. It identifies as a stapler. Well, now let's please be respectful and politically correct with identifying the tool that I carry with me. It's insanity. You know, and then what amazes me even more, realistically, with any of these type of things, that what amazes me is that people feel that they have the right to come up and say anything they want to you if they see something that they don't like. You know, it's amazing to me. I gotta say, I'll be honest. I've shown unbelievable restraint in the last 30 years, because the last fight I got into was when I was 27 years old. So I truly believe that I've showed an unbelievable amount of restraint over the last 30 years, by not giving some people, which they so badly need, which I like to call an attitude readjustment. Believe me, when you readjust someone's attitude, they definitely look at things differently afterwards. Um, Older and wiser. Yeah, well, the thing is, at this age, 80 came in. We got to do it quick. We can't be in it for a long haul, drawn out type of engagement. It's got to be bang bang bang, not shooting bang bang bang, but ending any kind of physical altercation as quickly as possible. So Glock handles are like 2x4s. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Yeah, well, older. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, there's a lot of good things that but like I said, if you're trying to conceal and go smaller, but still have decent stopping power, you know, it, individual choices, guys. We all got our flavor. Some people like revolvers, and that's great. I mean, they're reliable, but you got 6 shots. You know what I mean? 6 shots. Um, if you have, okay, let's look like this. If I'm going to be in a gunfight, let's just say, and you have your, you know, revolver with your 6 shots, and I have my Glock with my 17 round mag and one in the chamber, I like my odds better. That's just me. So, it's just like I said again, it's personal preference, whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, if you're a crack shot and you know what you're doing, then that's great. If you're practicing and putting rounds down range on a regular basis, then maybe, yeah, one shot, one kill. Tony says exact. Well, then exactly. But if you better be very proficient, okay. If you miss with 6 shots, you don't need a gun. What you don't understand with that situation, and that's easy enough to say, Larry. But you look at, and realistically, you have to look at this. When you look at trained police officers, trained officers, and they get into a gunfight out on the street with whoever, and there was those two brothers. I can't remember the two brothers. They ended up getting arrested, and they both ended up going to jail. But they got in a gunfight with the cops, close range gunfight. Two cops, two perpetrators. I don't even know how many rounds got fired, and nobody got hit at close range. The reason for that a lot of times is it's high stress situation. The adrenaline's pumping, and you're not, obviously that's not something that you deal with on a daily basis. So that stress level and the adrenaline and all that type of stuff, it really, yeah, the nerves come into play. Exactly. They all close their eyes while shooting. Yeah, something. I don't know. I'm sorry, but um, if you just, like I said, and it's easy enough to say. It's easy enough to say. Well, you just have to be calm in that situation. You're never going to be calm. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many times you've been engaged in that type of situation. Uh, you know, so it's a close range of 380 has a harder punch than a 9 mil. Yeah. Well, and again, I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to be in that close range type of situation. I wouldn't want to be. Now, if I had to be and I had to do what I had to do, I'm going to do what I have to do, obviously. And I think everybody should feel that same way. But it's the when you have a weapon, the idea of having a weapon is not because you want to do something with it. It is a deterrent, like anything else. I'll go back to the story that I told you guys. I was in a Dollar General. Okay, I was in a Dollar General, and the guy behind me in line, was asking me about the gun laws here in West Virginia, and I said, it's a constitutional carry state, open concealed carry, no permit needed. And he was like, "Wow, that's really cool." And then he said to me, he said, if I was a bad guy coming in the store, looking to rob the store, and I saw you standing there with a gun on your hip, he goes, I would think twice about it. So again, I'm like, yeah, that's why we do it. We do it because 21-foot range, a person with a knife can get to you before you can draw. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yep. So, but again, um, if if you are, like I said, to me, it's a deterrent. That's what it is. That it's a tool, like any other tool. I carry a Swiss Army knife with me wherever I go. Right? I carry a lighter with me wherever I go. Now, I don't smoke, but I always have a lighter on me because if I ever am in a situation, and SHTF happens, I have I have my pistol on me. You know, um, I have my Swiss Army knife, and I have a lighter. You know, and I always carry a tube of chapstick as well. So, but again, uh, they're tools. Each one of them has a purpose. They all have a purpose, and that's why I have them. So, I'm hoping that I don't have to use my lighter. But if somebody really needs to have the cigarette lit and they don't have a lighter, well, then there you are. Here you are. Boom. See, I've done my due diligence, helping out my fellow man. So, but again, I think it's important if you have the different tools, and that's what they are. They're tools that you're proficient with them, that you are putting rounds down range on a regular basis, because it's just repetitive. They're repetitive. If you are, like I said, practicing drawing, not even shooting, just practicing drawing, just boom, and get yourself in your stance, pull it, and get ready. Muscle memory. It's muscle memory. You don't want to all of a sudden be in a situation where, yeah, discipline is the key to accuracy. Well, and staying in control, right? But right, if you have them, you need to train with them, build the muscle memory. Exactly. It's really, really important. If you are, once or twice a week, 15, 20 times, practice your draw, practice your draw. You get yourself into a situation, it's going to be automatic. You're going to do it without even thinking about it. And it's going to be that quick, and where you wouldn't even, if you're so used to doing it and you know what you're doing, right? It's just a matter of poop, and there it is. You know what I mean? Your mind is going to take over. It's going to be an automatic thing, and I think, like I said again, that's very, very important. So, but yeah, your heart will be racing, your adrenaline's going to be pumping, but you keep control your breathing and your mind. Yep. And if you are used to doing something, you're going to be in much better shape, and that's just how it goes. That's just reality. So, but so when everyone runs for cover, there has to be at least someone who is ready. Exactly, exactly. So it's just yeah, like I said, whatever you carry, as long as you're comfortable with it, you're practicing with it, you know what you're doing, it's definitely much, much better. So what do we got? 575 in the chat. We're at 276 on the thumbs up. So again, I'm going to ask you guys, if you have not thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time for doing that. It really does make a huge difference. Also, it really helps with the algorithms. So the more interaction, positive or negative, because if you hate me, please shoot the thumbs down. That's fine. I prefer the thumbs up, obviously. Um, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms as well. Also, if you are not subscribed, again, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, what if they're wearing a helmet, full body gear? Where do you shoot? You shoot them in the legs, Deb. Shoot them in the legs. Go in the groin area is a nice spot. You got a few arteries down there that if they're hit, they're done. So. But anyway, that's just kind of just sharing my thoughts on that. But again, it's amazing to me that all of a sudden we're now having a spike in Texas of these things happening. And of course, then the rhetoric starts like crazy. So. Yeah, yeah. 80K man says aim low, but putting a few in the vest, they'll feel it. Oh, absolutely. It'll take your breath away, especially depending on what you're shooting them with. It's hard to armor up this section right here, just so you know as well. So if they have a helmet on, great. But if you're aiming center mass of their face is still going to go spoosh. Just saying, you know. But no, if you, like I said again, I mean, how many people realistically day to day are walking around in full gear, full body armor, head to toe? That's heavy. It's expensive. So, you have to think about, generally you're going to go center mass, but, it's, shoot them in a foot or the leg, they're going to go down. They're going to go down. So, but, just like guys wearing a cup, I've kicked some in that cup and they still went down. Oh yeah. Yeah. It only helps a little bit. That's not a huge, huge thing that's going to help you. But anyway, don't fall for the agenda is what I want to talk about in this one. But I find it amazing how many people will, you know, um, because they're uncomfortable or they don't like it, they think that the rest of us should do what they want, which is insanity to me, which is absolute insanity. Again, if you don't like something, like I said, if you don't like jelly beans, then don't eat jelly beans. Just send all the black jelly beans to me, and I'll eat the black jelly beans for you because I like the black. And actually, that's the only ones I do like. I don't like the other jelly beans. I don't like to eat the. Just give me the black jelly beans, and I'm a happy man. So, yeah, a person that can't breathe can't stand and fight. That's exactly right. Yep. I had a private weapons instructor throwing firecrackers at me. Got powder burns on my butt, allegedly. Well, there you go. There you go. That's too funny. See, Grace is with me. She says, "I love black jelly beans only." Exactly. Hey, black jelly beans matter. Okay, they matter. Those of you that don't like black jelly beans, it's a terrible thing. You're missing out because they are delicious. Uh, Come on now, Mark. Mark Sweeter says black jelly beans in the throw up face. Come on now. Don't hate, participate. Anyhow, we're almost at that time. I want to get ready for this other part too because when the time comes, I want to have it ready to go. So I'm going to put that out there. Anyway, we just, guys, I'll tell you. Well, we'll get into this next part of what I was going to say here in a second because it's almost egg count time, and I don't want to get hammered on tonight by not doing the egg count on time. Green jelly beans, ugh, No, got to be black jelly beans and black jelly beans only. When it's that time of year, Eastern stuff, I'll go buy the package of the black jelly beans. Love them, absolutely love them. It's never happened. Never happened, JJ. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and do the egg count. So, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. And look at me right on time, which is actually scary. That normally doesn't happen. So, I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses in. So, remember, yes or no for Miss Thickneck when you make your guess as well. Okay, give you guys a moment. All right, we actually had somebody had the right guess, but did not put down yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So your answer was disregarded. So if you had, let me go back here just to make sure I got the guy's name right, because it was a gentleman that had the right answer. All right, if you had the same exact guess as Fred Rose, with 10 eggs today, and yes for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations to Fred. And actually, I'm even going to go back and just for the shame of the person that had the right guess but did not have yes or no, we will call them out so that next time they'll know that they have to put Debbie House had put down 10, which was the correct guess, but she did not say yes or no for Miss Thickneck. So, Debbie, you snooze and you lose, my dear. So, I'm just playing with you. So, anyway, congratulations to Fred House for getting the right guess. You've won absolutely nothing. So, congratulations on that. Nope. Nope, Don, he does not. What did I just say? He won absolutely nothing. Got to stay with the class, Don. Stay with the class. I hope you guys know that when I call you guys out for anything, it's good-hearted teasing. Okay, please don't take it personal or think I'm attacking you. I'm just messing with you. So, oh, Paige is his wife. Oh, it's Fred's wife. Paige got the right guess. Okay, so oh, I see. I see how it goes, Paige. Fred and Paige use the same account. It's like on Facebook when you see these married couples that share their accounts. You know why they share their accounts? Why do they share their accounts? You think? I have a kid that I went to high school. Actually, they knew they were actually both in my same class, and they ended up getting married. And they share an account. They share an account. Why do you think they share an account? Is there a trust issue there? Maybe just a little bit on somebody's part. On someone's part, somebody's having trust issues. I just always thought that was freaking hilarious. We do, and even have the same bank account. We are so corny. No, that's all right. No, that's all right. You know what, Paige? When I was with my ex-wife, we shared the same checking account, so it wasn't a separate checking account. It was the same one. They share false teeth too. Max says, "Now, come on, that's not very nice. That's not very nice." So, healthier, healthier. Are you playing another get together this summer? Well, we were going to try and do something up in New York, and I guess I talked to Greg the other day, and he was trying to get his brother to come and play, and they're having issues with that whole thing. So, I don't think the New York thing is going to happen. I don't know if we're going to do anything down here, to be honest with you. Uh, you know, Along with everybody else, finances are not great. you know, so I'm not. I would like to. I would like to get do a get together, but I don't know if that's going to happen this year. And that's just being honest. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how the next couple months go. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. But if we're gonna do something, it would be like July, August anyway. So I'll let you guys know. I defriended my wife on Facebook 6 or 7 times. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, it's a lot of things are interesting. A lot of things are interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Facebook can be a good thing or a bad thing. I think Facebook has caused a lot of people to have breakups and that type of stuff because, maybe somebody's chatting with somebody that they used to know back in the day or whatever the case. I ended up getting Facebook just to stay connected with people. That was it, to see what was going on. Like when we do a class reunion, that's what they'll put it out on Facebook, and they'll be like, you know, it's that time, like next year. And I'm like, holy crap. Next year will be my 40-year reunion from high school. So I'm like, wow. I'm like, I'm looking forward to it though. I went to my 20 year, I went to my 30 year. So I definitely will go to the 40-year reunion as well. And the worst part is the people that I wanted to see, a lot of the people that I would have liked to have run into at the, reunions weren't there. They weren't there. So I'm like, well, what are you going to do? 80 came in. This year's my 35th. Yeah, it goes by really, really fast. Really fast. Yeah, it's like, where did the years go? Exactly. And again, it always brings me back. I'll be honest with you. It always brings me back to a conversation that I had with my grandmother. I was This year is my 55th. Wow, Joan, that's cool. Very cool. Yeah, and the class keeps getting smaller and smaller once you get up in that range. Um, but we're sitting there, and my grandmother said to me, and she was like, "Ed, getting old sucks." She says, "The older you get, the people from your past, there's less and less of them." And she said, you have new people that have come into your life, children and grandchildren and stuff like that. She goes, but she goes, the older you get, the faster it goes. And I'm this 12-year-old kid sitting there thinking, summer lasted forever. It was fantastic, and school took like way too long. It was just, but as you get older, man, that time it just speeds up. Like I was talking to Heather yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, and I said to her, um, "It's May already. How did that happen?" You know what I mean? So yeah, live your best life, control what you can control. Absolutely, 80K man, you're 100% correct. Prep Rebel said I had Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace. Got rid of them because I could not figure out my right. Oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's just some of this stuff is just nuts. Yep, those endless summers, they were awesome. You'd go out. It was a time when you could go out, you'd be gone all day. Your parents had no idea where you were at or what you were doing, you know, and you just had fun. You just had fun. Uh, you know, Playing kickball, football, baseball. We had I remember there was down the road was the telephone company, right? So you had the telephone company, and the guy that was and we would take tennis balls and hit them off the wall in the parking lot, in the telephone company. And if we in the course you eventually would end up hitting balls up on top, and they had the phone outside, and you'd call in, and the guy that worked there was really cool, and he'd climb up on the roof and he'd get all the tennis balls for us. You know what I mean? So it was, and then he didn't care that we played in the side yard of there, so that was a great spot. It was open, so baseball, kickball, whatever we were playing, it was great. It was awesome. So a lot of fond memories. Riding down the road on your bicycle with no helmet, with no hands, riding out because you thought you were cool. And then you got it. I mean, I got it to a point where I could ride all the way to my grandmother's house was over a half mile away, and there was a couple of turns, and I got so proficient at riding with no hands, I could make the turns with no hands. It was just those were fun times. Yeah, drinking out of the garden hose, exactly. So, but a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Oh my God, parties! Oh, the parties we had, just insane, insane parties. Remember waking up one day, my mom comes in, and and I'm in bed, I'm sleeping, and she's like, Ed, wake. I'm like, what? Look at your friends. And I'm like, what? What about them? Look out the window. I got people like laying in the yard. There was one person sleeping on the hood of the car because I would always take everybody's keys. I would say, you know, give me your keys. If you're partying, you're staying. That's it. And so people would be sleeping everywhere. Some in the floor in the living room. Oh my God, too funny. Can't do that anymore. Oh my God, the parent they'll arrest the parents now. Yeah, riding in the back seat with no seatbelts. Are you kidding me? Not even just a back seat, prep rebel, riding in the back window. Remember how the cars, you had your whole full back seat and you had the window, and you could lay up, up in that back window area. You could lay up in there. I used to do that all the time. Too funny. But yeah, just it's a different time now. I didn't let my kids out of my sight. You couldn't, unfortunately. You had to watch them like a hawk. So, but like I said, it was a different generation. I mean, our parents were too busy off having their own fun. They didn't want to be bothered with us. They didn't want to be bothered. Go play, have a good time. Oh my God. So yeah, my sister and I did that too. We took turns, of course, absolutely. So, but yeah, it was like I said, it's a different time, a different perspective of stuff. It was, not bad, not bad. Good music. Oh my God, the music from the 70s and the 80s. I mean, come on. They actually wrote music and sang music back then, you know. Even, like I said, the 70s. I mean, you think about all the great music that came out of the 70s, it's crazy. So, yeah, too funny. Oh, and the best muscle cars. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, my first car. Well, not my first car. God, what I had bought. I'll tell you a funny story. I had bought a Mustang. No, no, no. I'm sorry, Trans Am. I had a Trans Am, and I went and picked up my little brother and one of his buddies, and we were out riding around. And when Alex saw, my Trans Am for the first time, he looks at me and he goes, 3 months. I go, 3 months? What are you talking about? He goes, 3 months. You'll be dead in 3 months. So I used to call it my fiberglass coffin. And there was a college that was Cortland College. So from Rochester you'd have to go to Syracuse and then down 81 that way to go to Cortland College. And it was a 3-hour drive. Okay. So we had gone out there one weekend, me, Eric, and Alex, and partied out there one weekend and spent the night. So we're coming back Sunday morning, and I don't want to just. I just want to get. I want to get home. So I was averaging 100 miles an hour. We made that 3-hour drive in an hour and a half. So yeah, it was just insane times, and I can remember. I can remember I was like, I'm like jacked in driving because when you're driving that fast, you really got to pay attention to what you're doing. And I would say, look at the people's faces when we go by. I mean, because somebody be doing 55 and you're just whoop. I mean, you're just gone. And they could see you coming. People would see you coming, and they just would get over because you were going so fast. And it was a freaking stupid chances. Obviously, very very stupid chances. But you know, yep, good times. Thinking back on that, oh my God, just some of this. I can honestly say, folks, uh, I have no idea why I'm still here because some of the stupid chances I took as a youth, I'm like, I am very, very fortunate to be here. But it was just that time. You could do a lot of the things that you can't do now. So, my very first car, though, that I had was a 72 Chevy Impala, It was a four-door boat. I mean, that freaking thing, man. And with that one, um, if you got up to 100 miles an hour with that car, which you could easily, you could watch the gas gauge just slowly going down like that while you were doing it. It was crazy. So in that car, I will tell you this: in that car back in the day, I had a gas can in my siphon hose in the trunk. So before we would go out, we'd go out and we'd be partying and stuff like that. So before we would go home, we would hit an apartment complex and we would refill. We would refill the gas in the car so that way we had a full tank of gas for the next day. Just like I said, and again, I mean, you couldn't do that now. You can't do that now. Everybody's got cameras. Everybody's watching everything. So crazy, crazy, crazy misspent youth. But man, so much fun. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun. All right. So now that I've explained some of my criminal activity, oh, nothing like a mouthful of gas. Oh yeah, yeah. You learn real quick. You're yeah. Oh God. It was a rite of passage. Absolutely, absolutely. So, all right, we're gonna do shout outs. We're going to start out. Oh, again, if you have not shot a thumbs up, what are we at? 348 on the thumbs up. Let's hit 400. Let's see if we can hit 400. That's 52 more thumbs up. So, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Let's see if we can hit that 400 number before we jump off of here. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms, with the interaction. So, I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. All right, so we're going to start out with Icky Can up in Canada. Real good guy. Been living off grid probably 1 year less than I have. Really good guy, taking care of his animals up there and just doing his thing. You have Angry Prepper down in New York City with Jason. Jason is a squared away dude as well. Definitely recommend you check out his channel. You have Alaska Prepper, and that's Rudy, another really good guy. Definitely check him out as well. There is Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance, two different channels, same guy. Really amazing building up in Canada, living off grid, getting his gardens in and doing all that type of stuff up there. A lot of fun to watch him. Amazing builder, amazing builder. You have Demcad, and he's another good guy, very squared away, knows what he's talking about. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizza Rizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really interesting story, so definitely check that out as well. There is Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. Great channel, a lot of good information. Adam's a very squared away guy as well. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wranglestar, and that's Cody. A lot of good information on his channel as well, so definitely check him out as well. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin, well, that's Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. Nice young couple up there. Definitely check them out as well. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Two different channels, husband-wife team. Really good information on their channels. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. You have Green Greg's. Really good gardening information. Definitely check him out as well. There is Southern Prepper One, who's actually was doing a challenge with his friends about being as prepared as they could be by June 1st because they want to evaluate each other, which I think is a good thing because if you have somebody looking at you critically that has that eye, they're going to pick up things that somebody else wouldn't, and I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. You have Gray Man Prepping. There is St. Bernard Acres. Oh, I'm sorry, Beagle Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around a long time. They are really good, very knowledgeable, a lot of good information on their channel. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama, nice young couple down there working on their stuff down there. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona, another nice couple down there showing you how to live in the desert and do that type of stuff. Really, really cool. You have Camping with Steve. That's Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. A lot of fun to watch him. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. Needy Homesteader's been around a long time. Real good channel there. You have Boss of the Swamp. Again, great builder. Fun to watch him build and do what he does. Been around a long time as well. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch project. Really good guy, very, very squared away. Definitely check him out. He's going to tell you all the information with the Grand Solar Minimum and all those type of things, which is very interesting. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer. I like his channel. A lot of really cool stuff, what he talks about with space and everything going on out there. Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear, who is in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. She's going to give you all the latest information on Yellowstone, the earthquakes, what's going on. Definitely worth a listen to. Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There's Ice Age Farmer. You have, if you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you need to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy. Gives back to the community in a huge way and very passionate about the weather. So definitely check him out. Russell Brand. I really like Russell Brand. He gives you the information, and then he lets you decide if you want to take it in or not take it in, which I think is a good thing. It's completely up to you. Deep South Homestead, another really, really good channel. Very, very down to earth, very family friendly. You have The Outsider. There is The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's. If you want to know how they lived back in the day, Townsend's is a great channel to watch. They show you a lot of really cool stuff. You have The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness. He is down in Tennessee. Really good guy. Definitely check him out as well. East Tennessee Preparedness. You have The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. They are also down in Tennessee. There is a lot of great information out there. People look at things from different perspectives, which I think is a good thing. And so I think it's important that we look at diverse viewpoints. And so I think we should support each other. I think it's a lot of fun. So definitely, go check out these other channels. You can tell them the Prepper Nurse One sent you. Again, some of them have no idea who I am, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not doing it for any other reason that I think that we should have, different viewpoints to look at. So what are we at? 385. We need 15 more thumbs up to hit that 400 level. So very close. So let's see if we can get that done, guys. So 15 more to go. Anyway, but like I said, and I know a lot of you are putting different people in the chat, and that's fine as well. And I think that that's a good thing. Just to, like I said, the channels that you like, and that's perfectly fine. I cannot give everybody a shout out, so I just give the ones that I give that I've got on my list, and we go from there. So, but let me get a quick drink here. I want to encourage you guys to continue to prep, continue to get ready. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing a lot more activity with the military, which is concerning. I've had some people reach out to me with their loved ones in the military and saying that they are actively getting ready for something. Okay. So those are things that we absolutely should be paying attention to. And I wanted to share that information with you guys. But I think that we need to continue to focus on what we can control, take care of what we can take care of. Yep, chess piece is almost in place. Exactly. And when they decide it's the time, they're going to do what they're going to do. And all we can do is control what we can control. So what we can control, right? We can control what we take care of. We can take care of our families, put ourselves in the best position to be successful when something happens. So I actually was talking to, people have asked me if I had any new, people for, joining the group down here. And so I had talked to one lady, and she said, her husband's a truck driver, And so she said, she was going to have him give me a call. And him and I talked today for probably about 45 minutes. It was a great conversation. They seem like a really squared away couple, and really looking forward to meeting them and hopefully have them join us in what we're doing down here. Again, I think that it's really, really important that good people need to survive what's coming. That's really important. I've had a couple other people that I've talked to as well, so we're going to see how that goes with them as well. Everything seems really positive with the other people that I've spoken with recently as well, and we'll see how it goes. But we need to work together. That's important. You need to be around like-minded people that have the same mindset that you do. Uh, I think it's important to decide who you want to spend time with, especially if you get into an SHTF situation. I would rather pick the people that I want to be with ahead of time. You know, I will tell you this, and I honestly believe this: we will end up with more people in the group than we anticipate. People are going to need help. People are going to, be in a tough situation, and so they're going to need that help. And so, if you have your core group of people that you've been working with and that you trust, you have that inner circle, if you will. And I think you need to have that. You need to have those people that got your back, that they've been there for you, that they're there, to work with you. Yeah, somebody had mentioned the wildfires in Western Canada. They're out of control right now out there. A lot of issues going on. My thoughts are with those people that are dealing with that. I couldn't imagine being in a situation. Your core group is your security team too. Absolutely, Okie Forge. Those are the people, that you trust more than anything else. Hey, Ron Foster's in the chat. Ron, how are you tonight? Glad to see you here. But yeah, those are the people that they're going to have your back. You're going to have their back the most. Other people that come in, they have to build that trust. They have, it isn't automatic. So making sure that you have the right people around you to be successful is really, really important. Really important. So I'm going to encourage you, if you are not part of a group, get with a group, get with people that you want to be around, when that time comes. And I think that that's hugely important. And I'm going to repeat myself because I do it all the time and I don't care. I am very, very fortunate that I have a fantastic group of people that I'm working with, and we are a good team. We'll bust chops, we'll joke around, but we need to work together, and that's what we do. And I think that's hugely important. And you watch and see what we do here, and it's basically what I'm trying to do is show you that when you put a bunch of people that did not know each other a year ago together, and then you continue to add new pieces to the team, it is amazing what you can do and what you can get accomplished. And Dawn Hill just said, people with different skill sets is important. Absolutely. If you have the same people that have all the same skill sets, that's great for a point, but it's not going to really help in the big picture of things. With having different people know how to do different things is really, really important. And where my like, and I'm the first one to admit it. My weakness is carpentry. I am not a carpenter. Don't claim to be a carpenter. I can do whatever you need me to do, and I'll do whatever you need me to do. But you know, other than that, we have people in the group that are much stronger carpentry skill wise. Uh, Rob, Mark, Ronnie, Dave. There's four people right there. You know, yeah, you need to cross train your group members. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because if you have one paramedic or one nurse in the group and that nurse gets killed or dies, now you have zero. So yes, cross training is going to be an important aspect of things as well. So I do agree with that. So anyway, all right, I'm getting behind on schedule again. We already over 400 thumbs up, so that's awesome. So thank you very much. Uh, we are legion because we are many. Where is everybody from tonight? So we got Franklin County, Ohio. the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Montreal, Quebec, Canada with Daniel, Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda, the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsyltucky Granny, Waterloo, New York with Sharon, uh, Pipestem, West Virginia with Troy. We have Georgia with Luke, Syracuse, New York with Steve, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. How are you, Clyde? Okie Forge from Nowhere, Oklahoma. Janet from BC, Canada. Missouri in the Ozarks. Delbert, middle of Georgia. Nikki, Tucson, Arizona with Angela. We have East Central Illinois. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Charlotte County, Florida. Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. We have Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Western New York. Kuramik, Ukraine. I'm probably said that wrong. John, sorry if I know I said it wrong, so I apologize. Mud Creek, Ohio. Greenlee County, Arizona. Vancouver Island with Prep Rebel. Newfoundland, Canada with Mar. Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Morristown, Tennessee with Patty. Hale, Michigan with Joe. Western North Carolina. We have York County, Maine with Melanie. Valhalla. Yes, Valhalla, Valhalla. I will be there one day drinking mead. Uh, Oliver Springs, Tennessee with Michelle. We have Thomaston, Georgia with Tony. Uh, Tim from Oklahoma. We got Missouri in the house with Brad. St. Augustine, Florida with Diane. So, so anyway, guys, again, all over the country, all over the world, we're a huge network of people. We are the ones that are awake, not woke. We are awake. There's a big difference, a big difference. Um, but we're the ones that truly can make a difference. We really can. And, we have to try to help each other. We can network and prepare. It's the best thing that we can do. Ed, I can send you a recipe for mead if you like. But my shine is always better. Oh, I'd like a mead recipe. That would be cool because I definitely will make mead down the road with the honey. That might not be for a year or two out, but I definitely think that would be a lot of fun. So, Central Iowa with Robert in the house, Sonia in Fort Worth, Texas. So, but again, we're a huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference. We can make a difference now. We can make an even bigger difference after an event by being there to help people, to show them what they need to do to stay alive. And I think that that's important. We got Angel in Long Beach, California. Very nice. So, anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. I appreciate everything that you do, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. It does mean a lot to me, and I do appreciate it very much. I want to thank all you guys for being here, and supporting the channel and watching the videos and all that type of stuff. It's really appreciated, and I thank you very much for that as well. It's a lot of fun. No trolls tonight. Wow, that's cool. That's very good. It's a shock. They're so dedicated normally. But anyway, do what you can do. Prepare the best way that you possibly can, and that's all any of us can do. That's all any of us can do. So remember, guys, we are all in this together. We truly are. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us using race, using religion, political affiliation. Again, at the end of the day, none of that's going to feed you. None of that's going to do anything for you. It doesn't mean anything. If you're starving in a post event and you're a hardcore Republican and a super left-leaning Democrat has a meal that they're willing to share with you, guess what? You're going to eat it and you're going to be thankful. So again, all that other crap, it means nothing. We have to come together. We have to work together. And I think that that's what we should try to do. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever we are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. If you work methodically at whatever you're trying to do, set realistic goals, and then set about to making them happen, they're going to get done. It's as simple as that. It may take longer than you anticipated, but oh well, as long as you're striving to get that done, it's going to get done. And that's important. Don't listen to negative people telling you what you can't accomplish because they don't matter. They don't mean a thing. All right? Stay positive and you're going to be just fine. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you all on the next one. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.